One thing I have learned in all my years of gaming is that there are a lot of different gamers in the world, and while some see a game as amazing, others may decide it's absolute rubbish. That was my experience with FarCry. The first one was amazing, in my opinion. But my gamer friends at the time couldn't see it. They said it was a one-track game and that the AI was horribly buggy. Okay, I won't disagree, but that was not a deal breaker for me to call it a bad game. When Far Cry 2 came out, the opinion, well, flipped, with some friends saying it was a great game and me calling it boring and repetitive. In fact, it was such a bad gaming experience for me that I didn't even look at the third and fourth games in the series. Now, Far Cry 5 is out, and while I have been addicted to VR gaming for the last year, the game looks so enticing that I had to give it a try. And I'm glad I did. It's an amazing, crazy story set in present-day Montana, where a cult, Project Eden's Gate, has taken control of the fictional Hope County. The game begins with you, a rookie for the sheriff's office, flying in with the sheriff and a fed who has a warrant to arrest Joseph Seed. He's the narcissistic holy leader of the cult. As you can imagine, it doesn't go well. His followers attack the chopper and bring it down. You manage to run off into the woods while the rest of your party is being taken hostage and indoctrinated into the group with the assistance of Bliss, a hallucinogenic drug grown in the county and used to make their followers believe nothing but their truth. This action causes the uprising that Eden's Gate has been planning for, and they quickly block all roads and cut off communication. The game reminds you of the Old West, but set in modern day. There is essentially no law except for the cults, and there is dangers at every turn, including wild animals like mountain lions, bears, and wolves. Fixing one of my complaints about Far Cry 2, there is action every step of the way to your next destination, from prison transports and convoys that you need to ambush, hidden bunkers to find and explore, side missions that will earn you NPCs that give you additional abilities, and even fishing, hunting, and gathering activities. There is a minor crafting aspect to the game, but it's mostly used to craft health, armor, and special cocktails that can enable you to run faster, take more damage, and inflict more damage, and even highlight enemies and animals around you. Those NPCs I mentioned are a cool change to the normal computer-controlled helper too. In addition to having a few human NPCs available for your roster, you can call on some animals to help you out as well, including Peaches, the cougar, and Cheeseburger, the bear, and direct them to attack enemies from a safe distance. As you progress through the game, you build a resistance to take back control of different areas. Each area is controlled by one of Seed's lieutenants, which you will have to take on after you progress through the story. To help you is an array of weapons and vehicles that you can unlock and purchase as you play through this incredible story. And that is why I am a gamer. I love movies, and I see games as movies you can interact with. Usually, they are much longer than movies and give you a greater aspect of all of the characters. This game has a fantastic story with massive character development and even different endings available. But I don't want to spoil too much for you. If you want a massive open world game with a great story set in the modern day, look no further than Far Cry 5. We didn't even get into the online multiplayer arcade challenges, or the 3 expansions that will transport you to Vietnam, Mars, or pit you against what else? Zombies. Because every game needs a zombie mode, right? This can be an extensive experience, but I would start with the base game and go from there. Warnings include a few bugs where the NPCs got in the way or went the wrong way, where the very cool auto driving feature took you in the wrong direction, and where you had to restart missions because it simply glitched out. Oh, and did I mention there is co-op for the entire game? We experienced more glitches, possibly due to lag with co-op play, but it was a blast to experience the single-player story with a friend. I would highly recommend this game, but warn everyone of what to expect. You can get Far Cry 5 right now for the PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, regardless of how much I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I do have to give it 3 out of 5 stars here on your weekly tech update. If you want a high-quality robot dog in the US, you'll need to spend $2,900. That's expensive, but I suppose Sony's new Aibo will probably live a lot longer than most purebred dogs, which can go for the same price or even more. At an event in Sony's New York headquarters, the company announced Aibo's arrival in the US. It's not the first robo-pet announced in the US this month. Anki announced Vector, a tiny Pixar-like robot designed to live on your desk or kitchen counter. Aibo, however, is designed to go where dogs go, so floors and couches. Like Vector, Aibo can recognize faces and some emotional expressions. It should theoretically know when you're sad or happy and act accordingly. It's loaded with cameras, touch sensors, microphones, and a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor to crunch the numbers necessary to approximate the behavior of a real pooch. It will understand voice commands, know locations like the kitchen or the bathroom, and avoid obstacles. The limited edition bundle will include the dog, an assortment of toys, and 3 years of the Aibo Cloud app, which will be necessary to enjoy its cooler intelligence features. If you're interested in a pricey pooch, Aibo will be available in the US sometime before October for a price of $2,900. And finally, happening in this week's What The?, an 11-year-old confronted a home invader for stealing wine coolers and ribs from the fridge. The brazen act happened just after midnight at the home of Nathan Marcus, and Battle Creek police say they have 2 men in custody. Marcus was sitting on the couch watching TV while his family was sleeping.
And then I heard the fridge open, so I went out to see what it was.
It was a man helping himself to the refrigerator.
I stood right here as I saw the guy having the fridge open and just taking the stuff out of it. He looked at me and he asked if it was okay if he just took some drinks, and I said no, and then he left out the back door and I went to tell my mom.
Marcus said the strange man walked away with a few wine coolers and a plate of ribs, but it wasn't the food he was worried about. I didn't know if he was going to hurt me or anything, he said. Battle Creek police arrested 2 19-year-olds walking down a road not far from the Marcus home. Officers said both admitted they were drinking that night and now face charges for home invasion. The Marcus family has no idea why the man stopped at their house, but said that they're now boosting security and locking their doors more often. Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think I should feature on the program, shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out our podcast, audio and video versions available on iTunes, Google, Spotify, and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world.